I'd like to personally thank CND Mobile Notary for helping to get the word out, and please contact us if you have any information.
You know, what really holds a community together? Today, we're going to look at that question through two really different stories, both from the same town, Toms River, New Jersey. We're going to start with a crime that, put residents on edge, and then we'll look at the kind of everyday services that really build a town's foundation.
All right, so first up, this is an incident that has the whole community on alert. The police are actually asking for the public's help after a pretty brazen robbery at a local Wawa. We're going to break down exactly what happened just as it was reported.
You know, for anyone who lives in the area, a Wawa is way more than just a convenience store, right? It's like a community hub. But in the early hours of a Sunday morning, this very familiar spot on Route 37 became the scene of a really troubling crime.
So let's get specific. This all went down just a little after midnight on Sunday at the Route 37 East location. The police were able to release some surveillance video which gives us a really clear and frankly disturbing picture of what happened.
The video shows this was a really calculated move. So the suspect makes a totally normal purchase. Then, right as the cashier is closing the register, he asks for something else. That forces the drawer to be opened again. And that's the exact moment he strikes, sprays the cashier right in the face, grabs what he can from the drawer, and just takes off.
Okay, so what about the police response? Let's look at the information they've released to try and find this person. And this is exactly where the community's help becomes absolutely critical.
So, based on that security footage, police put out a pretty detailed description. They're looking for a man, probably in his early 20s, around 5'6" with a thin build. He had long dreadlocks and was wearing a hooded sweatshirt and a face covering.
And here is the most important part. The police are actively asking for tips. They've even assigned a specific detective to handle any information that comes in, which just goes to show you how seriously they're taking this whole thing.
You know, an incident like this really reminds you how much we all depend on our emergency services. But the stability of a community, well, it's not just about police and paramedics. It's also built on a whole foundation of trusted, everyday services that give us support and reliability when we need it.
Because when the unexpected happens, it's not always the first responders we turn to. We also rely on that entire network of people and services that, make up our community. I'm talking about those local professionals who handle things with real expertise and care. Everything from closing on your first home to signing a will. They provide a totally different kind of security, one that's built on trust and reliability. And that is just as essential to a community's health. So, let's look at a perfect example of this kind of essential service right there in Toms River, CND Mobile Notary. They're actually set up to solve a very common and often really stressful problem.
I mean, this quote really gets to the heart of what they do. Just think about trying to get an important document notarized while you're juggling work or family or whatever else. They totally remove that stress by coming directly to you, whether it's your home or your office, and they make the whole process completely seamless.
And we're not talking about minor paperwork here. These are critically important documents. Think about it. Mortgage closings, power of attorney forms, wills. These are huge life events that require absolute trust and expertise. Having a reliable professional service for these moments is just vital.
And their service area is really broad. CND Mobile Notary doesn't just serve Toms River. They cover the entire Ocean County area and a lot of the nearby communities too, which really makes them a key regional resource for these important services. So for anybody in that area needing fast, friendly, and expert service, here's the direct number to call: 609-630-0129. It's a perfect example of that layer of professional support that helps a whole community run smoothly. Okay, so we've looked at two different sides of community life here, responding to a crisis and using those trusted local services, and both of them offer a way for residents to actively support their town. So here's how you can help. To support community safety, please, if you have any information about that Wawa robbery, contact Detective Stallworth. We've got his number right here, and we've put a link to the news article down in the description. And to support the local services that make Toms River stronger, you can reach out to Cecil at CND Mobile Notary at 609-630-0129 for professional, convenient service.
And that leaves us with one final thought. We've talked about policing and professional services, but what other businesses or roles do you see as the essential glue that's holding your own community together? It's really something worth thinking about.
Thanks for joining me for this little community snapshot. If you found this look at what makes a community tick valuable, please go ahead and give it a like And be sure to subscribe for more explainers on the stories that are shaping our world.